I I feel like a lot of the time people forget um the real main purpose on why we're even here in the first place, right? And like I'm obviously not the one with all the answers, but I can at least say for certain that it's to live and live fully and authentically true to you. Um I value authenticity versus virtue. I don't believe in virtue. I don't believe in people that say, "Oh, well, I want to do this to help you. I'm virtuous. I'm religious. I do this because of this." It's fake virtue. Fake virtue does nothing. It really doesn't. So inherently, I'd rather have the real, authentic side of being a human. Humans are fucked up. We're unsteady. We wobble. We sweat. We cry. We have sides of us that are all so quote unquote imperfect. Um, there's this term that I've been thinking of. It's dukkha. It is I believe, either Hindu or anyway. It basically is a concept of unsteady, but obviously the English translation is that language is very linear, multi-dimensional emotions versus it's hard to translate, but it's basically like imagine you are a axle on a car and you are the car, right? But the axle is off shift. So there's an unsteady rhythm as you're going through life. And that's dukkha. That's what life is. It's uncomfortable. Um, you know, but it's making the most of the situation that you're in. Like here now. Say like for example, like let's say I'm somebody who spends a lot of my time fantasizing about the things that I could have. So I prophesize on how I'm going to get those things. And that way, like, I'll have something to look forward to. I'll be happy. Like, instead of kind of, instead of really just looking within because you don't really need to look anywhere else. Um, I've seen some like videos of people on YouTube posting and talking about like, different situations um people are dealing with. There's this one guy that um kind of talks about isolation and he mentions what dating's like in 2026. And it just kind of had me sitting there thinking everything's fucked. There's rules. I mean there's so many like regulations and uh things you have to apply like things are getting too complicated if that makes sense. Like, oh, well you didn't like read my text 5 minutes after I saw your location said that you were active and you had your phone and so why didn't you just text me? Like when and explain to me how the fuck that would ever matter in any sense. Like it's such a toxic it breaks my heart. Like but it's life. It's fucking life. It's gonna happen anyway, right? But like, so I read a lot of Alan Watts, right? But Alan Watts is a lot of his research it comes from Carl Jung. Carl Jung is one of my favorite philosophers on the planet. I love that guy. He made a lot of breakthroughs. But more so specifically, um, the concept of no events are separate. Everything is interconnected. I mean, let's be real. Every single argument that's ever existed on the planet, I mean, what came to fruit of it? I mean, I feel that society has us like Like we are constantly like looking over each other's shoulders, like making spying on our brothers, making sure that they're not like doing something wrong, and they're doing the same thing. And inherently it is a literal cycle. It is just going back and forth and back and forth, and it's like, so it's like we have colleges with history, and, no one seems to piece it together. And why is that? Because language and recording history is more important than actually experiencing the what's happening in the real time. It, so much so to the point where it gets misconstrued and history repeats itself, right? Like hypothetically, right? History repeating itself based on the concept of humans not understanding consequences, actions, or trajectory on. And there's obviously it's life. There's no set way to do anything. But if you want to grow spiritually, you're not going to cling to something to cope with the uncomfortability of being human or whatever. It's really interesting. Another thing that talks about how misconstrued and, well, basically the game of telephone over like thousands of years. Um, it's fucking like Jesus, huh? The big man, the big J, which normally I would not want to like bring up because it whatever, fuck it. But Alan Watts has a fair point, and it's how misconstrued things have been over time. It leads you to miss out on basically anything that was truly genuine in our human nature, right? Like we aren't taught any of this shit. Like, hold on. So the word sin in Greek, hamartano, I hope I didn't bash that, is to miss the point of eternal life. It's a here and now. It's kind of in like, imagine you're looking at like an hourglass, right? And you have the past, and then you have the future, and then you have the present right in the middle. If you cling on to trying to balance to trying to control over these things, or focusing too much on your future, too much on your past, it just it clouds and continues to keep you kind of blinded. And one of these passages is, do not worry about tomorrow, saying, what shall we eat, what shall we drink, or how shall we clothe ourselves? All the ramble seeks after these things. Sufficient to the day is the worry of it. Matthew 6:28 to 33. Which, this sermon, funny enough, guess what? Never talked about. Alan Watts even personally talks about how this sermon is never preached. Ever. It goes against all fucking society's standards. Oh, God forbid we actually preach the fucking word of quote unquote like I and it's so comical, right? It's just but I mean at the end of the day, it's like it's ironic. You know, like the people that we hate now, we love later. Or like, and all of it's not surprising. But it's life. That's just life, you know. And that, and it wouldn't, and you can't change it because then it wouldn't be anything at all. The universe is a never ending changing process, continuous process. It's like a infinite cube or something, you know, like going down on the thing. It's forever, you know. And we're one with it. Like that's the whole point. Like we're one with it. Like we are the Big Bang that's connected. Like we just like got we when we came to as human beings, we were told and convinced that we only existed within our skin. Not that we are w- us and everyone around us and thing and such. We are the universe. And it's so cool. But language is a fucking barrier. And it's a lot easier to just not say anything. And not a lot easier, you should not say anything. In my personal opinion, if somebody's going through a time, what. Okay, before I continue with that, what made you learn what you know now, right? You had to go through trial and error. If you didn't go through those experiences, then how would you have learned to cope with them furthermore, right? Like you otherwise you would have just kept making the same mistakes. You would have, so and the pattern of learning. And it's so it's cool. It's cool, it's interesting. I love it. The mystery of life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. And that's hard. When you grow and you immerse in society and you mold and you become one with the rest of the crowd, falling more and more out of who you feel you truly were into a shell. I don't want to fucking live that way. Hell no. Like, I would rather be looked down upon for the rest of my life by every single person around me than ever give that control to anyone ever again. And it's not like well, you're taking control over me, trying to. No, it's, you know, this is my life. Who are you to tell me how to live it? Like, I don't tell you how to live your life. Don't tell me how to live mine. And that's verbatim. There's one thing in this world that I wish that everybody could achieve, and that's, I don't want to say spirituality, I don't want to say an awakening, I don't want to say any of that. I just hope that everyone realizes one day that this is an experience. It's made for us to enjoy. So enjoy it. Don't make it any more complicated than that. And focus on the now. And get off your phone. Get off your phone. I want to say, as okay, I I had my TikTok phase. I had my phases of brain rot scrolling, right? And taking the time to get off of the internet is so healing for your soul because you start to work with yourself and heal with yourself and you're not distracted by the smut of the internet. Like, God forbid, like, don't listen to me or listen to me. That is up to you. But at the end of the day, do you want to prioritize what makes you comfortable and what you truly care about, or things that excite you on the inside and get you riled up because it's something exciting and devastating to talk about? Life is life, though. You talk about whatever, you know? And it's meant to be lived, and that's it. It doesn't matter how you do it, just do it. I'm not even gonna suggest don't hurt other people, don't this, do that. Because that's how we have the fucking Bible 2,000 years ago fucking game of telephone going on currently. Live your life. Enjoy your life. Appreciate your life. Your life is worth living, so live it. You have it. Anyway, I just thought I would dump all of this shit. You're welcome, or you're not welcome. I love you, fellow human, and I'll see you on the other. I'll just see you again.